Joining us now from Miller Park, the home of the BYU Batcats, is Jason Shepard, our dugout reporter,
and
baseball insider. Got the lean going on in that dugout. Jason,
nice polo.
It's finally a beautiful day at Miller Park for a baseball game.
Absolutely. I mean, we've dealt with some pretty chilly temperatures over the last couple of weeks, and today it's expected to be gorgeous, as you can see, with the sun right in my face. The sun is out. We've had some intermittent clouds. Makes me sound like a meteorologist. Temperatures expected to be warm today, I think in the 60s. So it is a perfect day for some afternoon baseball.
Are you going to take some batting practice today?
I have not been offered batting practice, but I can say that from after a very shaky performance in my first BP session, I was able to get a second one about a week and a half ago, significantly better. I was launching him into the outfield. I don't want to get into it too much, but needless to say, I did not embarrass myself like I did the first time.
That's good.
Meaning outfield, not anything in the dirt, right?
There was, I think, one in the dirt. Everything else was fly ball, at least past second base.
Okay. So I noticed, and everyone else that is watching on BYU TV, that you do not have a mustache, Jason. Mike Littlewood told us in studio that he kind of got in on that late, and he's like, I didn't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to start trying to grow a mustache. Like, I'm just going to let them do that. Is that why you don't have a mustache as well?
Ultimately, yes, because over the last month or so, occasionally I'd have one of the players come up to me and say, hey, are you going to do the mustache? And I feel like I can grow a mustache. I don't know how good it is, but I at least feel like I can do it. And over the weekend, there was a little bit of growth, and I thought, if I'm going to do it, now I've got kind of a jump start on it. Now it probably wouldn't look so bad. But the more I thought about it, I'm with Coach Littlewood. I didn't do this from the beginning, and I don't think I'm necessarily like a superstitious guy, but I guess what I am is like negative superstition. I don't want to mess things up. And so I was afraid if I jumped on that bandwagon now, I would really mess things up for this team, and I was not going to be responsible for that happening. So I decided shaving it off.
That's fair, and there's no more superstitious sport than baseball, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Tell us about this game with Arizona, because to me this is a nice non-conference game for the Cougars that could be on the resume at the end of the year if they don't win the West Coast Conference tournament, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to take on a Pac-12 team. And the good thing is you're taking on a team that's coming in having lost 3 in a row. Arizona has spent the last couple of days in Utah already. They were facing the Utes up in Salt Lake City, and they got swept. So it's an opportunity to take on a team that necessarily isn't playing well right now. And as you mentioned, it's something that will look good on your resume. And let's be honest, at the end of the day, even though this is just a one-game series, this team wants to keep winning, and this is an opportunity to do that before you begin a series this weekend against the Toreros.
We all know that Michael Rucker, BYU's ace pitcher, is going to get the start on Thursday once West Coast Conference play gets underway again at Miller Park. But in an interesting non-conference setup today on a Monday, what kind of pitching staff and rotation will Mike Littlewood use to kind of just survive Arizona before WCC play begins again?
It's very similar to what we've seen in previous games. The 2 previous games against UVU and Utah were on Tuesdays, and so we've seen Coach Littlewood go with several pitchers so that he doesn't mess up with the regular rotation starting on Thursday. That will be the same today. You mentioned Mike Rucker, who will get the start on Thursday. He will actually start today. Today is his scheduled bullpen session, so Coach Littlewood is basically using today's first inning as his bullpen session. He'll pitch for an inning, and then they'll turn the reins of the mound over to Jordan Wood, who's actually been very good in long relief. Now, I don't expect him to pitch too many innings. Again, they don't want to mess up these guys' availability. They want to keep them fresh for this weekend, but you can expect Mike Rucker in the first inning, and then Jordan Wood will relieve him and go for a couple of innings, and you'll see multiple pitchers like we have in these early week games.
Jason, this is the first of 5 straight home games for BYU baseball. Arizona 3 with San Diego, which has been kind of the rival in conference, if you will, the team to beat. Except Pepperdine had a great little run the last couple of years as well. And then you have Utah next week. What does BYU need to get done in these next 5 games?
Well, it all boils down to what the coaching staff has said. They don't care about winning streaks. They don't care about records. Their goal is to win series. They feel like if they can win the series, that's going to be enough to put them in position to reach the goals they want. And that's, regionals and seeing where you can go from there. So I think at this point, you win today. You try and win the series against San Diego over the weekend, and then you worry about Utah at that point. I mean, you've already beaten Utah once, and you've got a couple more cracks at them, but it's all about winning series for this baseball team. And speaking of the mustaches, that's all it will take to keep the mustaches going.
Just win the series. Keep the upper lip hair alive and growing. Jason Shepard with us on BYU Sports Nation. Follow him at JSN Shep on the Twitter machine. Do you have any sunscreen, by the way, Jason? I'm a little concerned about the amount of vitamin K you're taking in there with the sun beating down on your face.
Yeah, when I got here to the park, the clouds were covering the sun, so I did not put anything on for this interview. I do have some because the last time, it was actually the first Saturday game that we had on BYUtv, and I did not bring sunscreen at all, and it was a really sunny day. Now, I'm pasty white to begin with, and I don't do well in the sun from the get-go. This was 3.5 hours of just the sun blaring down on me, and I was just fried. Look, they just handed me some sun bum. Look at that. Look at that. So, yeah, I have some. I will be putting it on before the game because I cannot look like a lobster for the next week.
Anymore. I mean, again.
Exactly.
Jason, great stuff, man. If you can transfer some, like you're in the visitor dugout right now, so maybe
Yes.
you can like put a jinx in that dugout for Arizona or something. I don't know. Sprinkle some suntan lotion in there.
Just drip
Some
it all
sun
over
bum.
the benches.
SPF 70. Jeez, are you kidding
That's
me?
intense. What is a
not
polar
messing
bear putting
around.
that on?
Like
Gee.
you could wear that in front. You know, literally, if you're in space in front of the sun, you could wear that and be fine.
Hey, before you go, we need to do one more thing.
Oh yes.
Countdown to the Wildcats.
3 hours away.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, BYU Arizona in baseball.
Now this is the countdown I can get into because there's an actual game today in 3 hours.
Get your sunscreen ready. Jason, thanks for the time, man.
You bet, guys.